Hi everyone, I'm here to talk about Mario Kart. This series needs no introduction. For over 3 decades, it's given us hours of joy, frustration, and most importantly, countless memories with friends and family. But how did this series start? And how has it evolved over the years? Well, let's find out. We begin our story in the early 1990s with a little game called F. It was a futuristic racing game where players could pilot sleek single-seater craft around twisting tracks at high speed. It was intense, challenging, and most importantly, fun. Fun that the Super Mario Bros. Team wanted to capture in their own racing game. They wanted to create something accessible and enjoyable for all ages. After all, it was Mario. A few months after F-Zero's launch, the team released Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in August of 1992, Super Mario Kart wasn't much to look at. The graphics were basic, the courses simple, but what it lacked in presentation, it made up for in-game. The core mechanics were tight and fun, and the selection of power-ups ensured that every race was different. You could play by yourself or with a friend in multiplayer mode. You could race your friends directly head-to-head or battle them in a... There were even Grand Prix tournaments where you could compete in multiple races and try to win first place. And then there was the bonus mode, a wacky addition that saw players trying to smash each other off the stage while protecting their respective fortresses. It was pure, unadulterated fun. Over 8 million copies were sold. The success of Super Mario Kart surprised everyone. No one expected it to be so popular, but it quickly became a household name. It had proven that Mario could do anything. But with the success comes the expectations for the next game. Fans wanted more tracks, more characters, more everything. And the developers wanted to deliver, so they got to work on what would become Mario Kart 64. And boy, did they deliver. Mario Kart 64 arrived on the Nintendo 64 in 1996 and was an instant hit. It brought the Mario Kart formula to the next level with fully 3D tracks and courses that were bigger and more detailed than before. There were iconic courses like Rainbow Road, Bowser's, Castle, Toad's, Turnpike, and so many more. The game also featured 4-player split-screen multiplayer, making it perfect for parties. The graphics were stunning for the time, and the gameplay was even better. It was smooth, responsive, and packed with all the same power-ups and items that made the SNES version so great. In fact, it expanded upon that formula with the inclusion of more characters, more tracks, and more customization options. Players could choose from a wide variety of characters, each with their own stats and handling characteristics. They could also customize their karts with different colors and designs. The game also featured an innovative multiplayer mode that allowed up to 4 players to race at the same time. This mode was a huge hit with fans, and it quickly became the go-to party game for N64 owners. Mario Kart 64 went on to sell over 9.9 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling games of all time. It established itself as a timeless classic, and it remains one of the most beloved entries in the series. As the years passed, Mario Kart continued to evolve. New games were released on the Game Boy Advance, the Wii, the Nintendo 3DS, and the Wii U. Each one offered something new and exciting to the franchise. Mario Kart Super Circuit was a spin-off title that was released on the Game Boy Advance in 2001. The game was developed by Pion and published by Nintendo. It was the first Mario Kart game to be released on a handheld console, and it was a critical and commercial success. The game featured a total of 20 courses, which were all remakes of courses from the original Super Mario Kart. The graphics and sound were excellent for the Game Boy Advance, and the gameplay was just as fun as the console versions. Mario Kart Double Dash was an experimental game that was released on the GameCube in 2003. It was developed by Nintendo EAD and published by Nintendo. Unlike previous games in the series, Double Dash allowed players to race with 2 characters in each kart. The game also featured new items and abilities that were based on the characters that the player chose. It received mixed reviews, but it was still a commercial success. Mario Kart DS was a major evolution for the franchise. It was released in 2005 and brought the Mario Kart experience online. For the very first time, players could race against each other wirelessly through Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. It was the perfect way to take the fun of Mario Kart on the go. Mario Kart Wii was another huge hit. Released in 2008, It was the first game to feature motion controls, and it was also the first to feature bikes as well as karts. It was a critical and commercial success, selling over 37 million copies worldwide. Mario Kart 7 on the Nintendo 3DS followed a similar formula to Mario Kart Wii, but it added hang gliders and underwater racing. Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U was the first game to feature anti-gravity tracks, and it also included a number of DLC characters and courses. Finally, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. As mentioned before, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the definitive version of Mario Kart. It includes all the tracks and characters from previous games, as well as a revamped battle mode and stunning visuals. It is the perfect way to play Mario Kart, and it is the best-selling game in the entire series. Looking back on the history of Mario Kart, it's hard not to be impressed. From the humble beginnings on the Super Nintendo to the stunning visuals and gameplay of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this series has come a long way. But what makes it so special? What is it about Mario Kart that has kept us coming back for more for over 30 years? Well, it's simple. Mario Kart is fun. It's a game that can be enjoyed by people of all ages and skill levels. It's a game that's perfect for parties and get-togethers. It's a game that brings people together. Mario Kart has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I grew up playing Mario Kart with my family and friends. We had a Nintendo 64 growing up, and Mario Kart 64 was the game that we played the most. It didn't matter if you were 5 or 35. Everyone could enjoy Mario Kart. The game was easy to pick up and play, but it was also deep enough to keep experienced players engaged. The courses were always a blast to race on, and the items were always a wild card. I have countless memories of playing Mario Kart with my family and friends. We would spend hours racing against each other and battling it out in the bonus mode. It was always a blast. Mario Kart has been a big part of my life, and I know that it has been the same for so many others. It's a game that's brought people together and created lasting memories, and I think that's what makes it so special. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching!